Boys and girls, today we're going to look at different kinds of birds or different bird species, and we're going to do some exercises around that. This is just a picture. It's on page 96 of your textbooks. You can have a look at it there. These are pictures of birds that we find in the wild, but also birds that are tame and that we sometimes can use as pets, that we can have in our homes or in our yards, such as budgies or chickens. So for a formal assessment, what I would like you to do, the work on page 97, you can just read through and maybe go through with whomever you have at home that you can read it to them and give them the answers. You don't have to do it in writing at all. But then if you turn to page 98 in your textbook, pages 98 to 99, there's a table on the different kind of birds or different kinds of birds. They talk about the eagle, the parrot, chickens and penguins. They tell you what these birds eat, they give you pictures of what they look like, where they live, how they breed and their behavior. So I want you to study that table because you're going to do some questions as part of a formal assessment for me, so it's going to count 20 marks. I want you to do the work on an exam pad. So on the first line of your exam pad, you're going to write your name, your surname, the date, and the heading. Our heading for this exercise is comprehension test, and in brackets your page reference number, page 98 to 99. Then I want you to do questions 1 to 4 on page 98. It's right on top of page 98. The first question there is how many different birds are there in the table? So you answer those questions, and please, boys and girls, for comprehension, I want you to answer in full sentences, unless they ask you to only answer with a word. And then you continue on page 99 under the heading after you read, but you are going to name your test comprehension test or your formal assessment. And then under that table, you'll see there are 7 questions there, and I would like you to answer those questions as well. Please number them as they appear in your textbook. Sometimes the numbers differ, but it's fine as long as you've got the page reference number for me. So you'll hand that in then whenever we have work sent to school or whenever you are back at school again. Okay, today we're going to look at number words. There's a language theory block on page 100 about number words. It tells you there that number words tell us how many of a certain item there is. I've given you a bit of a picture diagram here. For example, there's 1 peacock, there are 2 sparrows, 3 ostriches, 4 hens or chickens, and 5 penguins. Now, it's 1 peacock, 2 sparrows, if you can see there, and I've written the number 5, but you will have to write out the word 5. Okay, I just showed you the difference there. So those are the first type of number words that we get. They give us the quantity of how many there is of a specific item. The second type of number words we get, they tell us the order of things or the sequence of things, in which order it happens. So if you think about a race, a 60 or 80 or 100 meter race, where athletes participate, they all start as soon as the bell goes or whatever, and then when they get to the finish line, there's someone that's in first place, second place or third place in the race. So those are your other type of number words. So for first you will write the number 1, or in the order or sequence of things, it's first, second, third, etc. I've given you pictures here. It goes to 10th. Please look at the spelling, boys and girls. It's very important. Because we're also going to do a bit of an exercise. So for more homework then, also on an exam pad, again, please name, surname, date and heading on the first line. Here we have 2 exercises. The first exercise, I want you to go back in your textbook, is the revision that we didn't do the last time on page 94. There are questions 1, 2, 3, 4, A and B. So I want you to do all those questions, please. For questions 2 and 4A and B, I want you to write out the full sentences exactly as they appear in your textbook, and then you underline the correct word for me. So if I just give you an example, question 2a says Richard was hopeful or hopeless. Then you write the entire sentence with both those options and you underline the correct adverb there. You underline the correct word. And then for question 3, you need to copy the sentences into your exercise book, and then you first underline your verbs and then you circle the subjects. Remember, we've done what sentences look like, that they contain a verb, a subject and an object, so you should be able to do that exercise. And then for question 1, you need to just write down 2 things that happened after the explosion. That's about the story about Richard Simelane on page 88. So reread that story, read it again, and then you'll be able to answer question 1. Then your second exercise for homework is on page 100. Under the language block, you'll find questions 1 and 2 there. I only want you to do questions 1 and 2 for this exercise. So question 1 says write number words for these numbers. The first one has been done for you. I also want you to write 1A in your book, that give you, or on your exam pad, my apologies, that gives you a nice idea of how you have to write it. So you first write the number 2 in this case, then you write the word 2, and then you write second, which is your order or the sequence in which it happened. So I want you to do that for question 1, and then question 2, you need to look at the pictures and you write the correct number words. They've given you sentences there, so you're going to write 2A, and then you write the full sentence and you underline the word, the number word that you have filled in. And please, again, look at the correct spelling. I've given you something there on the previous pages where you can look at the correct spelling. It's there. If you don't know, ask someone at home just to help you with the spelling. That is all for today. Thank you and stay warm.